Welcome to the Kingdom Culture Podcast that was created on purpose with a purpose to empower, uplift, and guide others to the center of God's perfect will. Kingdom Culture family, welcome back to the Kingdom Culture Podcast. I hope you guys are all been having a great week. So, something happened yesterday, last night, that really checked me, okay? For some context, we had people over the house, my mom's house, my family, my niece's boyfriend, and his mom, right? And there was a moment during the afternoon that I had to I was eating. I had to storm up and go get my son because he was crying with my nephew. So, my mom instincts kicked in, but I didn't yell, I didn't snap. I just kind of grabbed him and walked down the stairs, but the moment from the table to the stairs really caught me off guard, right? And that's the part that stuck with me, right? Because the house was full, family was everywhere, and we had company over, right? And the weird part was not that I felt bad for showing up for my son, but I caught myself thinking, wow, I hope they don't think we're crazy, like a crazy family, And I still care about what people think. Not in a loud way, not in an insecure, spiraling way, but in a quiet, internalized, subtle way. So, I shouldn't have been thinking that because we were all having a good time after that. We were all hanging out. Everybody was having their own conversations. It was really cool to have somebody new over. It was nice to see my mom bond with someone. So, actually, nothing went wrong. My son cried. I protected him. And that's normal. That's life. That's family. But somewhere along the way, many of us were taught to manage appearances instead of honoring what's real. And I had to pause myself and ask, why is my first instinct to worry about how this looked instead of being proud that I showed up calmly for my son? I think also the walking really fast across the room in front of everybody isn't normally me. So I have to realize that there's parts of me now that will show up louder, and I'm not a mean person. I try not to be mean. I try not to be, with passive-aggressive comments. I try to be very calm, very loving, very kind. But there are times where I'm overstimulated and things don't go as I would want them to. So I think it's because of that as well. But God reminded me, right? I don't need to perform peace. I just need to live it. And my mindset mentor always says, hey, you think you have the whole toolbox, the playbook of how to be calm, how to be collected, but then there will be moments in your life that you will be able to use and put into action what you're learning. And I think yesterday was that for me too. And it was a good, check for me internally. Because, no matter what happens, people will always have opinions. People will always see you a certain way. People will always think something. I mean, it's just part of it, right? But my job is not to be palatable, right? My job is to be present. And I realized that, my family enjoyed themselves. I was the only one that was focused on how this new person that came into our space was going to think. And I think it taught me something also about staying present and being able to maneuver through my emotions. Honestly, I also came home and I was exhausted. I had a really long day. And so I'm the type of person that loves company, loves people, but I also need my alone time, right? And so I came home and everybody was here, and I was just over it. It was so funny. I came in, everybody said hi, and I was like this to them. I totally spaced and didn't introduce myself to our company. My sister was like, "Hey, you're here, but your mind's not here," and I'm like, "You're right." And then I just laid on the couch, right? So it's those little things that I wish I didn't overthink, but I do because of the person that I'm trying to be and the values that I have as a person. I always want to make everybody feel welcomed. I always want to make sure that I show up with kindness and joy, and not, make anybody uncomfortable. There's no need for that, right? And so because of that, I think I'm also having this reaction, right? But I prayed about it last night. I took the time to journal through it, which is, awesome. And, I asked myself, right, am I trying to win the approval of human beings or God, or am I just trying to please people, right? And I realized that I still have things to work on, right? Nobody's perfect. And at the end of the day, the way that I show up did, go in line with my Christ values. Oh, sorry. And I told myself, what are some things, that I can focus on for next time? And these are 3 things that I'm going to focus on right now. So number 1 is going to be protect without explaining. Honestly, I don't owe anyone a narrative in the moment. I don't have to justify. No smoothing over. No sorry. I'm just going to handle my son, and that's enough. Number 2 is I'm going to catch the performance reflex. So when I feel the urge to manage how something looks, I'm going to tell myself, like, hey, you're okay, you're safe, you don't need to perform here. And awareness. This is what I always talk about. It's like awareness alone breaks the loop, because I wasn't aware that I still had this issue or this thing in my head. So it was really cool to come out and find it. And then number 3 is to choose my alignment over approval. So I have to ask myself, did I act in alignment with who I want to be? If the answer is yes, other people's opinions won't get a vote. I won't be overthinking. And I won't, think that I did something wrong. Now, for this 3rd question to work, you have to know what your values are, right? Who is the person that you're trying to be now, before, you go in spiraling? I think that's fair, right? You need to ask yourself, who do I want to be? And I had to clock myself yesterday and write it out and be like a peaceful, calm, collected, friendly, welcoming person. That's who I want to be. That's my values, And so sit down and journal and figure out who that person is. So then when you have moments like this, you can recenter yourself to your new truth and alignment, right? So I'm not working to be fully unbothered, right? I know that there's going to be times where I'm going to have moments of things like this, but I'm just working on being better than I was yesterday, 1% at a time, and realize that we're all humans. I think that we're our biggest critics, and sometimes we shouldn't be, right? So, anyways, I hope that you guys found some value into this in this video. If you feel like somebody that might need it, share it, put it on your Instagram stories, tag me. It's always so cool when I get messages from you guys asking questions. So please leave a review, send me a DM. My social stuff is always on the bottom. And yeah, that's what I have for you this week. We're all growing together, and I'm excited to share it with you guys as I go. So have a blessed day. Remember that I love you, but that the Lord loves you more. Always, always, always.